to another video podcast that is brought to you by the Southeast Asia IPR SME Help Desk in collaboration with our sister help desk in China and the IP Key Action. Today, we will address an industry-specific topic, namely the IPR protection in the food and beverage sector in China and Southeast Asia. And for that, I'm glad to welcome and thank Davide Follador, the expert of IP Key Action of European Union in China.
Thank you, Mariana, for inviting me and IP Key to join this video podcast of the IPR desk.
So, Davide, allow me to start by asking which intellectual property rights are the most relevant to the food and beverage sector?
Thank you for the question, Mariana. It's a very interesting question, and I do think that the most important IP rights for the food and beverage sector in China are definitely trademarks, geographical indications, and trade dress. To some extent, also trade secrets and design are important for the food and beverage sector.
Okay.
The success of the product depends on the quality of the product, depend on the particular taste which might appeal their target consumers, and all this translates into brand reputation, brand awareness, which is a competitive advantage. All this translates into trademarks, not only because trademarks allows to distinguish the products of one operator from the other, but also because trademarks carry all those positive messages that the brand incorporates.
So what importance have the geographical indications in the food and beverage sector?
Geographical indications compared to trademarks are not private, are not owned to any private individual or company. Geographical indications, or denominations of origin as we call them in Europe, identify countries, regions, or other geographical places whose cultural, human, traditional heritage and characteristics are giving to products special qualities which are important to be protected.
And if we take trade secrets, what relevance trade secrets have in the food and beverage sector?
For the food and beverage, trade secrets could be relevant to the extent that, for example, the ingredients or the recipes used for making a new product are not patented, but are kept as secrets, as know-how, as valuable know-how of the company to make that product particularly successful in the market. The most important, the most famous case is the Coca-Cola formula, which is renowned as not being ever patented, but kept as a trade secret.
Or the lasagna recipe from Nonna that must be kept a secret.
The lasagna recipe, of course, is very difficult to patent, but yeah, we could say that.
Okay.
But I would also mention trade dress. Trade dress could be protected as a design and to some extent also as copyright, if the level of creativity reaches the threshold established by the law.
Obviously, there are many differences in the IP legislation between China and all the ASEAN countries because IP rights are territorial. But firstly, if we concentrate on China, what would be the first steps to know before entering the market and to act upon before coming to China?
Thank you for the question, Mariana. There are a few important steps to be taken concerning trademarks. For example, it's very important to know and to be aware that, unlike Europe, China is a first-to-file country. That means that trademark rights are granted primarily based on registration of the trademark rather than use of the trademark on the market. That means that filing your trademark in China and being the first to file and register the trademark in China is of paramount importance to get exclusive rights on the trademarks. If you fail to file your trademark before any competitor in China, you might face the issue of having someone else registering the trademark in good faith or in bad faith, in the worst case scenario, and you would not be allowed to use your trademark in the country.
So is there a specific time limit how long the foreign company has to register its trademark in China after doing it in Europe?
So we have this 6 month time window which can be used for exploring new market. But after the 6 months time window, the priority rights will expire.
Thank you for clarifying.
Another important characteristic of the Chinese trademark system is that China also has a national sub-classification system of goods and services, which divides all the goods and services that can be trademarked into sub-national classes. One should be very precise in identifying the sub-classification number that belongs to the product or service that we want to protect.
Okay.
Not using the sub-classification system normally brings to objections from the trademark office, which can be costly for the company. And finally, I would say that also concerning trademarks, China is a country where people speak Chinese. This might sound trivial or obvious, but this is the reality. So foreign companies should be aware that Chinese consumers will identify the brand in Chinese and will naturally translate that brand in Chinese. Not only from a phonetic point of view, but also in the written language. So it's very important to adopt the right transliteration of the foreign trademark in Chinese language, picking the right characters. And to this respect, it's very important to work with experts.
Now let's move on to the Southeast Asian region. Many ASEAN countries have signed free trade agreements, also known as FTAs, with the European Union. And the FTAs also include the registration and protection of geographical indications. So could you please bring us some more notable examples? Which ASEAN countries benefit more or which less from these FTAs?
The protection of geographical indications as such in Southeast Asia, we should say that it is not legally harmonized. We have countries where geographical indications are typically protected as collective or certification trademarks, and other countries where the legal system adopts a sui generis GI protection system, more aligned or very similar to the system that we know in Europe. Thailand, for example, is one of the countries traditionally being on the front line of protecting geographical indications, also according to the sui generis system. For example, with the free trade agreement signed by the European Union and Vietnam, which provided for protection of 169 European geographical indications.
And could you bring also some products examples of these GIs? What would these be?
Well, notable examples are, for example, the Italian ham and prosciutto di Parma, or the French cognac, or the Scotch whiskey. Okay,
very good. Thank you very much, Davide, for joining us today. I am sure these insights will be very valuable also for European SMEs to protect their food and beverage products.
And if you allow me, I would like to invite the audience to log into the ipkey.org website to learn more about the EU-China IP cooperation on intellectual property.
If you liked the video and would like to learn more about IPR matters in China and Southeast Asia, please subscribe to our YouTube channel called Helpdesk TV. IPR Helpdesks of China and Southeast Asia bring you many interesting videos, podcasts, IP guides, as well as infographics and fact sheets, all of which are available on our website ipr-hub.eu. With that, we shall wrap up. Thank you for watching and see you next time.